Have you ever seen a story that just stops you in your tracks? One where a family on the absolute brink of financial collapse somehow turns everything around? Well, today we're diving into a story just like that. A powerful journey from deep, deep debt to becoming a cornerstone of an entire community. I mean, just look at this. On one side, you have a family totally dependent on social services, literally facing displacement. And on the other, a community pillar, a local job creator. So how on earth does it change this dramatic happen? This isn't just some theoretical idea. It's the real story of one incredible family, and their journey ended up creating a blueprint for something way, way bigger.
All right, so to really understand just how massive this transformation is, we have to start at the beginning. We need to see the immense, and I mean immense, challenges the Johnson family was up against. So let's meet the Johnsons. You've got James, an Army vet, and Maria, a Navy vet. Both are 100% disabled veterans. They're not just raising their 5 children, they're also caring for 2 of their own elderly parents. So that's a big, multi-generational household, all under one roof, with a lot of responsibility on their shoulders. And the pressure they were under was just immense. They were buried under $35,000 in medical debt and facing the constant threat of getting kicked out of their rental home. On top of that, their parents were at risk of losing every penny they'd ever saved just to qualify for Medicaid. The dream of a debt-free education for their kids, it seemed totally impossible. They were completely trapped in a cycle of dependency with no clear way out. So, the big question is, how did they break that cycle? Well, it all started with building a new, solid foundation. First, they had to stabilize their finances, and then secure a future for their kids through education. Let's just put a pin in this number again. $35,000. This was the financial hole they were in from the get-go. Before they could even think about building a future, they had to figure out how to climb out of that debt. Okay, so their first move was to build a stable financial bedrock. They did this by strategically layering all the benefits they were entitled to as veterans. We're talking disability, dependent support, even the VA caregiver program. And just like that, they created a stable and, get this, tax-free monthly income. This wasn't a handout, not at all. This was them leveraging the benefits they had earned to finally stop the financial bleeding. And when you zoom out, the annual impact was just transformational. Over $200,000 a year, completely tax-free. This single move shifted them from constant crisis mode to a place of stability. It finally gave them the breathing room to stop just surviving and actually start planning. Now, with that financial stability locked in, they moved on to the next phase, securing a debt-free future for the next generation. By using benefits like the GI Bill, they managed to secure over $420,000 in funding. That guaranteed a college education for all 5 of their kids, and hey, even for themselves. An incredible legacy. So, finances are stable, the kids' educational futures are totally secure. What's next? Well, the Johnsons were ready to make the leap from a family that was dependent on the system to becoming a true pillar of their community. And they did this through a really brilliant real estate strategy. They used their VA loan, with 0% down by the way, to buy a multi-unit property. They lived in one unit and rented out the others, which immediately started generating positive cash flow. Then they just repeated the process, building a portfolio that gave them passive income while providing affordable housing for other people. Win-win. The results are just staggering. The family that was once on the verge of being homeless now owns a real estate portfolio worth over $1.2 million. Think about that. They went from needing support to actually creating local jobs. They became a source of strength and stability in their own neighborhood. And this brings us to a really pivotal question. The Johnson story is unbelievably inspiring. But what if it wasn't just a one-off? What if their journey could become a blueprint for transforming not just one family, but an entire community? Well, the answer to that question is a comprehensive framework called the John Horse Plan. It's basically a strategic blueprint designed to take the success of the Johnsons and replicate it on a massive scale, building energy, economic, and political independence from the ground up. The whole plan really rests on 4 interconnected pillars. It all starts with energy resilience through community-owned microgrids. That foundation builds into cooperative economics, where the wealth is generated actually stays local. The whole thing is powered by a veteran-led workforce, and the ultimate goal? Political sovereignty, because you control your own essential infrastructure. So you're probably asking, how is all this wealth shared? Through a really innovative tool called the Community Power Coin. Now, this is not some speculative crypto you hear about online, it's a utility token. Each token represents a real-world asset, 1 kilowatt-hour of energy from the community's own microgrid, plus a share of the revenue. It's wealth that's backed by a tangible, essential resource. And check this out. This is how that wealth gets distributed. The biggest piece of the pie, 40%, goes directly to the community residents themselves. The veteran operators who run the system get 20%. This model ensures that the value created by the community primarily benefits the community. And this brings everything full circle, right back to veterans like James and Maria. The entire plan is designed to leverage their unique skill sets. I mean, it's a perfect fit. Military training and things like cybersecurity, logistics, emergency response, it all translates directly to managing this critical community infrastructure. It creates a real career pipeline from military service to a meaningful, high-skilled job back home. Now, this all sounds incredible, but it's not just a theory. It is an actionable plan with a clear roadmap for building a more resilient and self-sufficient future. The plan is laid out in very concrete phases. Within the first year, the goal is to get the first pilot microgrids up and running. By year 2, it's all about scaling up veteran training and expanding to more communities. And by the end of year 3, the vision is a fully interconnected network of sovereign communities, all creating and sharing their own power and their own wealth. You know, in the end, the Johnsons' story really shows us what's possible when people are empowered with the right tools and the right strategy. The John Horse Plan is a blueprint to scale that empowerment for everyone. It's a call to action not just to fix a broken system, but to fundamentally rebuild it for a more resilient, more equitable future. And it leaves us with one final thought. What kind of power could we all build if we decided to build it together?